Welcome to this week's episode of Your Stock Request for the 29th of April. Hi, I'm Michael Gable, Managing Director at Fairmont Equities. Your Stock Request is the weekly video where I take your requests and analyse the share price charts. So this week we have South 32, Pointera, Nickel Mines, Mincor Resources and National Tyre and Wheel. So if you have a request, send it through. Make sure you're getting the free newsletter every Thursday. If you want my best ideas, you need to be getting the Dynamic Investor Report, which comes out every Tuesday. But if you do enjoy these videos, we'd love you to share them on social media or even leave us a review on Facebook and Google. Our core business is portfolio management. It's the stockbroking side. So if you want a broking account with us and have me personally help you, then please give me a call. And any advice, of course, is general only. So we've got South 32 here. We've still got a nice sort of uptrend in place. There seems to be some obvious resistance here, just under $3. I mean, if I zoom out to, if I put on a weekly chart, we could see that previous turning point here. So just under $3 is obvious resistance, even though the uptrend is still in place. But what's encouraging is that it seems to be forming an ascending triangle. So we've got that resistance line here, the initial rejection of it, but it's come back right up to test it. So it seems to be consolidating quite nicely. So for the moment, it's a hold. And in terms of new buying opportunities, I'd want to see a breakthrough here. I guess ideally a close above $3, and that's the next buying opportunity. Okay, Pointera, which is 3DP, trading pretty well. So you know, if we just have a look at the last few months, we had this sort of, I often talk about waiting for a volatility to die down, tightening range, and then you can buy the breaks. So here we had this sort of tightening sideways range breakout. So you can see the impulsive move here, big candles, consolidated, range started to tighten up, lower volume. And then here, when it jumped up last week on volume, for me, that was the buy signal. It sort of kicked on for a couple of days. We can see a bit of indecision. So if I zoom in here, we could see that on this particular day, it closed where it opened, went down a bit here, and then even yesterday, it again closed where it opened. So it hasn't made any progress the last few days, bit of indecision, lighter volume. So at the moment, it looks like a hold. It just needs to consolidate here, hopefully continue higher. So if you're looking for a buy opportunity, I'll just wait for this to be resolved. And then if you can get sort of a resumption of some upwards movement and a close near the high, then that tells you it's ready to get going again. Okay, Nickel Mines. So we'll zoom out here on our daily. So generally had been trending pretty well. We can see this sort of rejection here, came back to support, tried to rally, but as we could see in early April, each time it tried to rally, it was sold, made a lower high. So I guess, we can look back and say this was probably a bit of an early warning sign that it was struggling. And then I think the break under $1.20 was the confirmation. So if we're looking at the prior uptrend with the highs and lows, we could see that it came back here to the old low and bounced, which is fine. Tried to hold it, but as soon as it couldn't hold it, that was a negative sign there a couple of days ago. So, and as we could see even yesterday, following through, big volume on the way down. So definitely looks negative here. We might get a short-term retest of $1.20. I mean, if it can somehow get through $1.20 pretty quick smart in the next few days, that's okay. That'd be good actually. But just be aware that it might just, even if you do get a bounce, if it sort of starts to roll out under $1.20, that would be a negative. So I think for the moment, the risk is still to the downside. MCR, so again, prior uptrend looking good. It's consolidated back, but this one's, as we could see, sort of started to slow down here. So the consolidation slowing down, we can see over the last several weeks, it's just gone sideways. So a possible sort of double bottom here, where it seems to be bouncing off 95 cents pretty well. Tried to get going here. Yes, it came back, but as soon as it got near 95 cents, we could see the buying step back in. So Possibly a buy shortly. I mean, I'd prefer to see it in terms of this recent range. I'd like to see it get above that, and then I think there could be an opportunity there. But I guess early signs that it's found some support. And National Tyre and Wheels. So we could see that up until February, very nice trend. I mean, you've just got these big impulsive moves up, consolidation sideways, looking really good. And then obviously on this particular time up, it closed sort of on its lows of the day. And then sort of in early February, we could see that instead of sort of hovering back up here, it was sort of struggling to get above the close here. So I guess maybe a bit of an early sign that there could be problems, but obviously it wasn't until this day here that the uptrend was clearly broken. And then even after this move down in late February, we could see that again, it's struggled. So it's stayed towards the bottom of this bar, and if anything, it's been actually edging lower. Tried to rally here. Again, just down from the peaks of that particular day. It'd be nice to see it close on the highs of the day as opposed to coming back here. But then look, it couldn't sort of follow through again. It's just drifting back. So I think at the moment, this bounce doesn't look convincing to me. And I think the risk is probably still to the downside. Well, that's all for this week. If you have your request, send it through. I'll try to include your stock for you next Thursday.